Hello guys, and welcome to another ProfileTree video. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at web design trends and how to stay ahead of the curve. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So why exactly should we stay ahead of the curve when it comes to website design trends? Now it's essential because you're creating that competitive advantage. Embracing the latest design trends sets your website apart from competitors. So you could have a look at our website here. We actually used to have light mode and dark mode on this, but we've now completely changed it to dark mode. So that's what's now in trend for majority of the websites, which is to have light mode and dark mode. But we'll talk about that later on in the video. In making these different changes and keeping up with the latest design trends, it creates a modern and visually appealing website that captures users' attentions. And of course, that keeps them engaged and establishes your brand as innovative and forward thinking. On top of this, you're creating an improved user experience. So current design trends often prioritize user experience by incorporating user-friendly navigation, responsive layouts, and interactive elements. And by staying updated, you ensure that your visitors have a seamless and enjoyable browsing experience. Again, we'll use the ProfileTree website as an example. So if I've got a little top left hamburger menu and it's a drop down, you can see how it's very well laid out in terms of web services, digital marketing services, and content marketing services, and everything is all there for us to click, and it's easy to navigate around. You've also got our services above: portfolio, blog, about, and contact us, so it's easy to read and easily accessible. And if I can't find anything, then I've got the search bar as well on top of that, or I can just click on the get in touch if I want to get in contact with ProfileTree. So it keeps the user engaged, and of course, for me as a visitor or user, I would say it's an improved user experience if it's easy to navigate around. Same goes to the the actual footer below. You can see that we've got location, contact number, even a direct link to maps and directions. And again, you could see that when I come over a particular font or typography, you can see that a hover appears. So that's when I know that I'm over a particular area. It's a clickable button, so the CTA works on that. So that's something that I would say is a good user experience as well. And I'm not experiencing any sort of glitches on the site itself. It's nice, fast, and responsive. That's something on what we should be encouraging to do, which is having a nice, responsive website. And another thing as well, not really in turn with the website design trend, but more performance. You want to make sure that you keep everything optimized as best as you can, and that'll encourage a lower bounce rate as well. That's what you want, not a higher bounce rate. But speaking of lower and higher bounce rate, think about the higher conversion rates. So up-to-date design trends enhance user engagement, and that'll guide visitors to take desired actions such as signing up, making a purchase if you have an e-commerce site, or even submitting a form for non-e-commerce sites. So a very well-designed website that aligns with the user expectations can lead to higher conversion rates, and that's something that you want for your website. That'll gain SEO, that'll gain ranking as well for your site. So that's a positive part for yourself as a website owner. And also, as well as that, think about reflecting relevance. So an outdated website can give the impression that your brand is stagnant or behind the times. And just to demonstrate what exactly an old type site looks like, so here's a site back in the day. So this, I would say, is around the Internet 2.0 time, and this is the type of site that would reflect relevance. So again, as I say, an outdated website can give the impression that your brand is stagnant or behind the times. So say Yahoo Games, if it is still about actually, if Yahoo Games had this in today's age, people would have the impression that they're behind the times. So staying current with design trends showcases your brand's relevance, adaptability, and commitment to providing a modern digital experience. Now, unfortunately, I don't think Yahoo Games is now about. Of course, we all know it through an email or a mailing system. So they've completely removed this from their system. But that's a good little look over as to what the type of websites were about back then. So this is Yahoo Games, and I'm sure you guys have seen Amazon as well. Or what I'll do, so I've actually put up eBay here. So this is a cool little site back in the day, and you can see how simple it is. So this has been, well, this is a fairly old site. So you've got your logo in the top, you've got your different categories, and it says there's stats. That's something that you don't see on eBay now. So 2,967,077 items for sale in 2,076 categories now. So that's pretty good. And it's actually saying that it's got 1.5 billion page views per month. So that's fairly surprising considering how expensive devices were back in the day. But coming out of topic, this was what the eBay site looked like. And if we take a look at what it looks now, so a lot more modern, and it also has cookies. All your categories are within a drop-down menu. Now compare that to how it had looked back in the day. And you've even got a navigation bar on the top which states browse, sell, services, search, help, and community. This is how it looks now. And you've even got an area for advanced search. You've got your help and contact, brand, outlet, daily deals, nectar, even got nectar. So that's how the items would look nowadays. We don't have that stats that we had seen back in the day. Cool features as well. That was pretty cool. And even a guide to welcome new users. What is eBay? How do I bid? How do I sell? Register, it's free. Everybody, since it's got its reputation now, everybody more or less knows that it's an auction, buy it now type site, and you'll be able to sell, list, and do everything that you need. You've even got your little drop down menu there for some of those stuffs that you've recently viewed. But without getting too much into detail about this site, you could see how reflecting relevance is key in order to a successful online presence. So I would say that is an example of staying ahead on the curve. So diving into the reasons as to why you should follow the web design trend. So our first one was the dark mode. So dark mode is a design trend that displays dark colored backgrounds with light colored text and elements, and it provides an elegant and modern look. Reduces eye strain as well, so it's actually not as well as having a cool feature, it's actually good for yourself as well. So it reduces eye strain in low light environments, and as well as that, it can help conserve device battery life, and that's particularly with OLED screens. So implementing a dark mode option can cater to user preferences and enhance the overall user experience. So just to demonstrate that, we've got our internal brand here, which is Amazing Cars and Drives. Now on our very top left there, you can see a button for dark mode, light mode. So if I just click that, you can see as well, cool little feature that we've done, which is to illuminate the headlights of the car and darken it as well, so it looks like it's driving at nighttime. So that's another cool feature there. And the code for that one at the back, all it requires HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, of course. So let's have a look at it. So just have it along like this, and let's see if we can get a glimpse of it. Okay, so that's more or less how the dark mode light mode works. Sorry, and you can see how the text has turned from black to white. That's for the same for all of them, and that's with this one as well. So that's a cool little feature to have. So say when you're designing the website, mainly try to focus on a minimalistic design. So as well as being simplistic and a great use of using white spacing, clean lines, and of course having a limited color palette, you're creating a clutter-free and visually appealing layout. And as well as that, you're actually improving performance. So the less you have, the better it is for the site. Of course, that means less gig is what you're using on your site. So whether it's megabytes or gigabytes, and you're running an e-commerce or non-e-commerce site, that'll greatly reduce the amount of storage that you're using. And as well as that, this approach reduces distractions and emphasizes the most important content. So guiding users toward their intended actions more effectively is what you're aiming for. So you can currently see on the site as well a lot of white spacing, and we also have dark mode and light mode. So that's just a little look over it as well from what we discussed earlier on. And all that the site mainly uses black and white or grey, with some text and of course some imaging, and only the images have colors on them. Again, not a distracting website. It's overall nice and clean, and I could say the same as well for Amazing Cars and Drives. Again, great use of the white spacing along with the clean lines and as well as the layout of CTAs. So mainly focusing each area on the middle. So there's a wee button there as well. But yes, overall, with how you lay out your designs, with the blogs or reviews, whatever you have on your website, if you have testimonials, things like that, just lay them out as best as you can. Don't clutter them like you would with any other sites. And from what we've discussed earlier on, certainly do not list out your website like this. You don't want to make your site irrelevant to the online presence. You can see how cluttered that is in terms of how eBay is now. That makes it look very outdated. It's not a minimalistic design at all, and try to aim for very, very limited colors. Now let's discuss other areas as well, like micro interactions. Micro interactions are subtle animations or visual feedback that respond to user actions. Now they enhance user engagement and create a more dynamic and interactive experience. And the examples for this is buttons color changing, and then if you do a hover, like it notifies that it's a clickable button or clickable CTA. There's animations triggered when user scrolls down on the page, and that can make the browsing journey a little bit more enjoyable in terms of the web design trend. So let's have a look at an example for that. So here we have our ProfileTree website, and if I go ahead and click on or hover over Get in Touch, you can see how it's highlighted in green. And then if we scroll down even more, you could see as well from our story, agency services. So pretty much going back to what I was discussing earlier on in the video, you can see from the digital agency services how each point here has a hover underneath, and it goes from left all the way to right. And then if we take a look at the Amazing Cars and Drives again, you can see from the dark mode how that's an interactive piece. That's an interactive CTA button that enables a dynamic experience from what you can see. So again, not necessarily buttons changing. Well, it is going from dark mode to light mode from what you can see. So we'll have, you can see that there's the sun and there's the moon. So with the moon, it's dark mode. But yes, that just overall makes the experience of browsing through the web a little bit more enjoyable as an experience. So just to discuss the 3D and immersive elements, I shall be using apple.com as our example. Anyway, you can see with the video, just even adding a video will make it an immersive element. So you can even incorporate 3D graphics and other immersive elements, which will enable you to create a more engaging and memorable user experience. Now these elements add depth and interactivity, and that'll allow users to explore products, environments, or stories in a more interactive manner. So straight away you can see how minimalistic the design is. It's very up to date. And if we scroll down as well, so more or less that is the 3D part. But if you wanted to add a little bit of flair into the site as well, you can go ahead and create some parallax areas. I'll go ahead and show that here with a website on Wix. So this is the Wix website builder, and I'll go ahead and just demonstrate how you can create a parallax. So let's see. So we'll add a section in. I'll just add a blank section. And then scroll all the way down, and then what I'll do is I'll change that background. Change section background, and then I'm going to change the image. So this should load me up for an image. I'll just say something to do with school. So here we have classmates in library, school kids. Let's see what would work best for this. Okay, so school supplies, or actual this one. All right, we'll do this one. All right, we'll change the background. So firstly, let's go ahead and preview it. Now you'll see the difference between static and parallax, especially with other elements as well. So currently, as you can see, when I'm scrolling down through the website, it stays completely still. It's nice and static. That's initially what's on the site. Now if we go back to editor and I change this current layout, so I'll go and select the layout, background scroll effects, and select parallax, this will give more of an immersive element. So you'll see it here when I hop onto preview. So you can see when I'm scrolling up, it's still staying still while it's being 3D. So you see how that sort of moves, not just as a static image. So it remains almost at the background. So you can see that this the blue area is acting like it's on the front, and then that image is acting like it's in the back. That's what makes that 3D. And these are the little examples that I would say can really enhance the look of a website. So that is, I would say, the interactive content. Now, when you're staying ahead of the curve, maybe you want to consider using typography and bold fonts. Well, really good typography. So typography, as you can see, plays a pivotal role in conveying your brand's personality, and as well as that, the message. So bold and creative fonts are being used to capture attention and communicate a distinct brand identity. So custom fonts and typography driven design can make your website more visually appealing and unique. So say for example with this one, so whether it is like a sin type font or sans serif, anywhere along that family, you can see how well it ties in with this font. They are different ones, but they're modern, sleek, and flows well with the site. So that's something that you may want to consider. And as well as that, make sure that you don't use any more than 2 fonts per website, as you don't want the actual interface to become too cluttered, and it can be a little bit confusing as well in terms of multiple uses on the font. So as well as the other key aspects that we've talked about, there are other ones that you should also look out for, which is a voice user interface, so VUI. Voice assistants are now becoming a little bit more better and relevant as well, and it can help optimize your website for voice search and commands, since it is becoming more of an important tool. So if you do implement voice search compatibility and voice guided interactions, that can easily enhance accessibility and cater to those who prefer a hands-free browsing. Now Google currently already do this feature, so we'll go ahead and search it up. We'll see for ourselves. So you can see there, search by voice, and you can also search by image. So that's a really cool feature to have. And in terms of this as well, think about the sustainability and eco-friendliness of your web design. So coming back onto ProfileTree here. So with environmental concerns rising, showcasing eco-friendly practices through design choices resonates with environmentally conscious users. Now, that's a great way of promoting as well. So using sustainable colors, energy efficient animations, and promoting eco-conscious initiatives can align your brand with positive values. So again, with this one, completely dark mode, so it saves in power. So more or less good with sustainability and eco-friendliness. But yes, think about the inclusive design as well. So if you ensure that you have an inclusive design, that means your website is accessible to all users. So that'll include people with disabilities and maybe adhering to accessibility guidelines such as WCAG, and that ensures that your content is usable by everyone, enhancing your website's reach and impact. So you're opening and branching out yourself to other people, and not just just those who don't have any disabilities. So that's good as well to keep that in mind. And I would say as well, what's becoming very, very popular is augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, which is VR. So these technologies are being integrated into websites to provide immersive experiences. So if by any chance you really want to showcase a development tool or any piece of um, promotion you have, you can allow users to visualize products in their real environment through AR or offering visual tours through VR. And that can create a very unique experience and engaging interaction. Also, think about the data privacy and GDPR compliance. So, with privacy concerns, you have to think about the data protection. So designing with transparent cookie consent banners, user-friendly privacy policies, and secure data collection practices builds user trust and compliance with data regulations. So overall, you can see how many things take into account for website design trends. You also have other ones as well, like personalized user experiences. So personalization tailors content. Um, if you have a couple of complaints on your website per se, and there's a couple of things that you can maybe add to it, that's good. That's a good way for feedback and review. So if you personalize user experience, then you'll be sure to have or encourage a better user experience from other people. And like I said earlier on, interactive content is key as well. So just keep the actual user engaged onto your site. That's the best way to keep them happy in terms of web design. So if everything's interactive, makes it look everything cool, and gives a boost of an online presence for your site. So overall, each of these different trends offer unique ways to enhance your website's design. So do think about that carefully. Functionality wise as well, and user engagement. So it's always key to tailor these trends to your specific brand identity and user needs. Make sure you incorporate them thoughtfully and strategically, and that can elevate your website's aesthetics, usability, and impact on the online presence. But guys, that pretty much reaches the end of the video, and that's all there is to discuss about web design. Now, if you guys enjoyed the video, let us know in the comment section below. We'd like to know what you think. Also, if you're maybe looking to get some web development done, why not contact us at www.profiletree.com. Select contact us and we'd be happy to help. But other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next video. Thank you very much for watching.